Baylor women's basketball has added a transfer from Stanford. And granted, she didn't play much at Stanford, but she was a top 40 player in the entire country in 2020. And she has up to 3 years of eligibility. And that's Jana Van Gytenbeek, a 5'7" guard from Greenwood Village, Colorado. Granted, she didn't play much, but 8 minutes a game in only 23 games last year. I know, but she did go off for 18 points in one game. She played a lot of more minutes this year or last year, but she only averaged 2.4 points per game. Granted, she was 100% on free throws, but that was 2 for 2. 17 for 45 on threes. So she's known as a three-point shooter, as you could tell, and her field goal percentage needs to go up. But the thing is, she didn't hardly play. So I trust Nikki Khan trying to get more depth. Now this adds up to 11 players now, which is massive considering that last year they only had 9 to 10. 9 to 10 players. Started with 10, but then got down to 9 because, Kamari McDaniel left. I know there are a lot more players that have visited Baylor recently. So we'll see on those decisions. But apparently, I heard that this Stanford transfer was at the Baylor spring football game. So it's obvious that she wanted to come to Baylor. It's obvious that it was one of her priorities. Probably she was looking for a good school, first of all, in a better situation than Stanford. Because, let's face it, she was buried behind a depth chart. So, I will update on the other off-season stuff. And at least for women's basketball, they will have more players than all last year. But that's not saying much, I know. But they're probably going to add another player or two. I would not expect 14-player roster or 15-player roster, but more like 12 to 13. Because I know Nikki Khan has stated that she prefers that type of roster. Because that way it's a little bit easier keeping everybody happy. Instead of a 15-player roster or 14-player roster and being down in the dumps. But you know what I'm saying, though. Because, it's inevitable that there's going to be some players unhappy. And at least it won't be as many with a little bit smaller roster. Anyways, if you like this content, hit the like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys later. Let's get me up to 400 subscribers or more by the end of this year.